Richard, you're my go-to for tax questions, and I've got one for you today. Can you explain to me what tax domicile is?
It's an interesting one, Kirsty, and it's actually not a very easy one to answer. Domicile for tax is quite specific to the UK. I think you'd struggle to find any other country in the world that has the same concept of domicile. Essentially, it's a common law concept. It's not set out in tax legislation. It's a common law concept that determines where your permanent home is for tax. It has developed over the years through case law, but it's broadly where you consider your permanent abode to be now and for the future. So if for example, you would like your ashes scattered from the White Cliffs of Dover, there's a possibility that you would be UK domiciled. If, however, you would like to be buried or cremated in the Australian outback, it's quite possible you may be Australian. The other points to consider would be where your parents came from, where you were born. That's quite determinative.
Okay, so it's not an exact science, there's a little bit more around it, but what are the implications of it? Why is it something that I need to be aware of and or pay attention to?
Quite frankly, because there are potentially significant tax savings as a non-UK domiciled person. So, for example, non-UK domiciled people are not subject to UK inheritance tax on their assets outside of the UK. Now, with inheritance tax potentially at 40%, that's quite a big saving. So determining the correct domicile could result in significant estate tax savings. Also, many individuals come to the UK for work, end up staying in the UK for a long period of time, but they're not necessarily tax domiciled. They may have wealth outside of the UK they've accumulated over a number of years. They don't necessarily need the income from that wealth. And as long as that's not brought into the UK, that could be free of UK tax.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of tax savings, and so this has definitely made my interest pick up. So, what would be the first step for me to do, or the next step for me to do if I wanted to be aware of this?
First thing to do is talk to your accountant and probably a tax advisor practicing in this field. Can be a very complex area, can be difficult to determine domicile, but the tax savings are definitely worth investigating.